In today's instalment, I want to tell you about two aeronautical radio sites from Manchester that you've probably never heard of. Firstly, we'll look at the Manchester Corporation Wireless Transmitter Station. Never heard of it? Well, neither had I. There are no photographs and no diagrams or drawings, only this map. The station sat on Barton Moss, an expanse of land that sits to the east of the city of Manchester. Its location is marked a mile east of Barton Aerodrome, and the view from the airfield doesn't give any clues. Like other interesting places on the land such as Fox Hill Glen and Soldiers Retreat, the radio site, also known as Manchester Aerodrome Wireless Station, is long gone. It disappeared without trace in the very early 1960s from what I can tell. This was possibly due to the rapid growth of Manchester Airport after the war ended, and the RAF handed RAF Ringway back over as the civilian international airport it has become today. In 1932, the Marconi Company announced that it was planning to erect, on behalf of the Air Ministry, a wireless station at the Manchester Corporation Aerodrome at Barton Moss. This would be the first fully equipped wireless station to be erected at a municipal airport in Great Britain for the use of civil aviation services. It was an indication at the time of the advancing policy of officially fostering provincial air services in the United Kingdom. The transmitting station was erected at a distance of about a mile from the aerodrome at Barton Moss and was remotely operated from the control tower there. This was in order to eliminate any possible danger to aircraft using the aerodrome on account of the aerials and the two 100-foot masts supporting the transmitting station's operations. The wireless station had sufficient power and range to communicate with aircraft making the Irish Sea crossing to Belfast or Dublin, as well as over a wide area of the northwest of England and Wales and the Midlands. The station, with its two 100-foot towers, provided various classes of wireless services that had already proved to be of value to aviation, including ground-to-air communications by telephone or telegraph, meteorological broadcasts, wireless direction finding, and inter-aerodrome services. The station was initially controlled by the Air Ministry, which was also establishing a complete meteorological office at Ringway, later known as Manchester Airport, for the issue of weather reports. The wireless equipment installed at the time was state-of-the-art and the most modern available. It comprised of a Marconi ground station transmitter of approximately 3 kilowatts, as well as a direction-finding receiver. Work on the installation and initial testing was completed by the spring of 1933, and the site was operational for at least 25 years before it was demolished without a single trace in the early 1960s. Now, this isn't the only aeronautical radio relic in the vicinity of Barton Aerodrome to disappear. Another piece of equipment I'd never heard of also left as quickly as it arrived, and that is Barton VOR. I can't accurately say when the VOR was built or when it was removed, but it was there in the mid to late 70s and still there in the late 80s. Aircraft approaching Manchester Airport were directed by the Manchester Subcentre to one of the reporting points located by radio beacons at Barton and Congleton, and this VOR on Barton Moss was one of these beacons. Pooley's Flight Guide 1981 lists the service as a VOR DME, which is a radio beacon that combines a standard VOR with distance measuring equipment. The VOR side of things allows the aircraft receiver to measure its bearing to or from the beacon, and the DME side provides the slant distance between the receiver and the station. Together, the two measurements allow the receiver to compute an accurate position fix between the aircraft and the radio site. The beacon sat 2.9 miles west of Barton Control Tower and 10.1 miles northwest of the old Manchester Airport Control Tower in a field on Barton Moss, and it transmitted on 112.4 with the ident BTN for Barton. What is quite unusual is that while evidence of buildings from World War II can be seen in the area, evidence as simple as a concrete building base, there's no trace whatsoever of either Barton Wireless Transmitter Station or the Barton VOR beacon. The wireless station sat on what is now a small field next to a farm, and the land that was home to the VOR has been completely ploughed over. So there you have it, two important Manchester aeronautical radio sites that have been lost without trace.